Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? This is my second video today. I was blessed enough to have the Frugal Crafter mention me again in her video and about alcohol inks and using them on paper. So I've been getting a lot of emails today, messages and emails on YouTube asking me how I did it, how I do it. And although I always feel bad because people who sub to me now or newer subs, really in the last 6-8 months even, I have like almost 400 videos. So to go back and look through all my videos for those certain videos, I can understand it's frustrating and it's hard for me to go through and find, and show people or tell people what, where to go. So I want to talk about a few things. I'm trying to let this glue dry here, and I will explain all this in a minute. I don't want this to go crazy funky, so we'll just go like this. Okay, so one thing I want to say is Annie from Corner of the Bedroom Studios, she does the live shows on Thursdays. As a matter of fact, this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, she will be on her live stream. You can find her at Corner of the Bedroom Studios. She'll be live there. But as of today, Wednesday, every Wednesday, she's going to be doing a Wednesday art journal page. And she did a really cool page today, and I'll link it below. What I loved about it is she follows the same kind of idea as I do, and as many of you do, is that, you don't need expensive items and expensive paints and expensive everything to do art, to make a journal page, to do this. So she has a really great video over there. Every Wednesday she'll be posting them. I'll link it below. Please check it out. Also, I want to mention a few things just while this dries. I used the heat gun and it's just not drying. Something I wanted to suggest to you guys also is a lot of us use gel medium. And it doesn't have to be golden. It can be Liquitex. It can be a matte medium. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. However, whether you make or buy your own molding paste, or you have matte medium, or you use your Elmer's white school glue or Mod Podge, if you go to the dollar store, you can buy the little, I guess they're in the children's section in the dollar store. They don't have a very big craft section in my dollar stores here in Jersey. However, you can buy like the little teeny containers of acrylic paints. They have like the lid that pops up, and you can take those and you can use that in your gel medium and color it. So you can kind of use that as a paint also, or color your molding paste and stuff like that if you don't have a lot of acrylic paint. I know a lot of you are just starting out. I know a lot of you are disabled and you can't afford to go out and buy, you know what I always say, Roy G. Biv. You go buy your red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, black, and white, and you can pretty much mix any color from those basic colors and make a beautiful page just from those colors. You get yourself a paintbrush or a foam. You can go and buy foam brushes. AC Moore usually has them on sale, 10 for $1. So there's ways around it. And something else that I think is very fun, but is very bizarre, and I don't know why I thought of this, and I was going to do a video on it, and I might still, but I like, well, I'll wait on that. I'll wait on that because that's something else. But also your dollar store. I've talked about this at my shows. Go to your dollar store and buy tissue paper and gift wrapping. It can be, that turns out to be sometimes your best scrapbooking paper that you can get. If you cannot go to the stores and buy, a scrapbook pad for 20 bucks, yeah, you can use your coupon and get it for, 11, 12 bucks or whatever, or they have them on sale sometimes. But you can use all kinds of tissue paper from the dollar store. And it also, helps you, in your art journal or on a canvas, just by throwing that tissue paper down, it helps you get away from that white canvas and not have fear of that white canvas. Because a lot of people write to me and say, I sit in front of my art journal, or I sit in front of the canvas, or I sit in front of, my mixed media book, and that white paper scares me, that white canvas scares me. And there's so many things that you can do to eliminate that fear by just throwing color down or taking tissue paper and just gluing it everywhere, all different colors, and just starting so you're not focusing on that white canvas. You can buy sponges from the store that you wash your dishes with, and you can cut those into squares. You can use them in so many different ways. You know, you could buy a car wash one. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff with them. And nail polish, if you have extra nail polish, my daughter is a nail polish freak, so I always have nail polish around, and you can use that. It's really enamel paint. So, you know, if you're playing on your mixed media and you got a cool nail polish color or metallic color and you might not have that in the paint, you can use that on your mixed media too, or in your art journal to add details or some glitz or some, you know, if you don't have the stickles and the glitter glue and all that stuff, you know, you can use some of your nail polish too. Go to the dollar store. They sell it there. You can buy, you know, glitter nail polish and all kinds of stuff and just add a little bit extra to your things. These are questions I've been getting. That's why I'm answering now while this glue right here is drying. And the last thing I really want to talk about is always, always, always save your bottles. I have so many body sprays. You know, like the bodies, they don't come in this. This is my one from Walmart or my Rite Aid. But I have tons of these body sprays. You know, they come in gift things. I buy them. I go to, what is that place I love? Oh, my daughter and I go in and we spend hundreds of dollars in there. Not Bed Bath & Beyond. Bath and Body Works. And, you know, so when you're done using those bottles and those spray bottles, save them. Because they have the good spray that comes out when you spray it, like as a spray, like a web, rather than some things that have that like concentrated like line of a spray. Do you know what I mean? They're more like the mini misters where they mist. That's the word I'm looking for, rather than just spraying a line. And those are great to use because remember, you're spraying on your body, so there's a mist that comes out of it. And those are just a couple of the things. And when you go get sushi and all, always get, even if you use a fork, these, because see, I used these earlier and they will now go back into my stash for the doll I'm going to be making. Go me. Okay. So, and I have a lot of things coming up. So I just, please dry. I'm just going to give this another second to dry. It is driving me. I put it on too thick. At the end of the day, it's not going to matter too much, but I really want it to be a little bit more dry. Dry, dry, please dry. And something else I'm going to talk about, because I never shut up. When I do my polymer clay, which I love to do, and if you don't have liquid polymer clay, liquid, you know, the liquid stuff, I use my Elmer's school glue because it's a polymer. And if I'm putting two pieces together, and I want it to connect, where I would use my liquid Sculpey or whatever if I don't have any, or I'm out, or I have two baked pieces that I want to connect, or whatever, I will use my Elmer's glue, school glue, and just put some in there like I would my liquid Sculpey and bake it, and it works. It works good. So you don't have to go out, you know, believe me, there's been times I've been stuck, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And that's what I do. I've been doing polymer clay for, I don't even know. How freaking old am I now? Okay, here we go. I'm just going with it. And, okay. So this right here, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but I got from here to here is Mod Podge Matte. From here to here is our Elmer's school glue, white school glue. I'm sorry it's going in and out. It's because it's white. Right here is Golden Gel Medium. Right here, don't ask about that little piece, is just a piece of paper, like book paper, and it's just white acrylic paint, okay? So that's where we're going to start. Come on, you damn thing. Okay. So that's what I have here. I have, let's make sure I didn't turn it the wrong way. Mod Podge Matte Medium, Elmer's Glue, and you can also use Mod Podge Glossy, it doesn't matter, but Mod Podge, Elmer's Glue, White School Glue, and Gel Medium, and then I have white acrylic paint. So, I have a palette. This is from Rose. Thank you again, Rose, for the palette, because I'm going to use it today. Okay. And I've been using this. I don't dry it off because it's in the water. I've been using this today too. I think I might use it just to mix this up. Yep. Okay then. I know. I'm probably the only person who gets a kick out of myself, but I don't care. Alright, this is just regular Folk Art Fuchsia plaid paint. I'm not using anything special. It can be any brand you have. I'm going to mix quite a bit because I'm just going to use this color. But I'm going to show you what it does. Now, I have it. If you don't have a palette, maybe you have these from medicine or something. I am going to say it. It might embarrass myself when I say it. I drink Imodium like it's crazy because I have IBS and I can't eat anything. Boost, I know if I eat anything, I'm going to be violently ill, so I drink Boost quite a bit. So I save the tops of my medicine, my Imodium. And don't buy store-brand Imodium. Never buy store-brand Imodium. I bought it from the Walmart once because I buy it so much and it's quite expensive. And so I said to my husband, well, you're going to the Walmart, just give me their store-brand one. Because, you know, it has to be the same. Like, has to have the same ingredients. Has to stop. No. It was awful and it didn't do anything. So I'm gonna squirt like that. And I'm going to take something to start with. And I'm just going to stir it and stir it. And you can use your chopstick for this. You can use your paintbrush for this. I'm just using my handy dandy tool that I've been using all day from Rose Cadell. She sent me such a nice package yesterday. I've been putting some things away that she sent. And using some things. I probably should have shook my paint up a little bit, but I ain't hating. I just want this a little bit smoother. And it doesn't matter how much water you have in it, honestly. You're not going to hurt. Like, don't think like, oh no, I've overdone it. Because, I mean, look, this is like really watery. I want to be able to suck it up in a sucky thing. I can't think of the name right now. Alright, so I'm going to leave that sit for a minute. But you can see it's very watery. And then I'm going to grab my alcohol. This is 91%. If you don't have 91%, use the 70%. It don't matter. You get this at Walmart, anywhere. You know, Walmart, any Rite Aid, Walgreens, I don't know, wherever y'all have. No, honey, it's not food. My dog comes running. Do you have food, mommy? No food. Step off. Okay. So I have my little squeezy thing. What is this called? I can't remember now. You know, squeezy thing. But you don't need to use a squeezy thing. I'm using it just because. Let's do the acrylic first because the acrylic white paint. So I'm going to open up my alcohol ink. Be very careful. If your name is Kelly Donovan or Knitting and Things, you must be aware that this is opened because she is known to spill things. So first, I'm going to take some of my watered down paint. And it still needs a little stir. I just think that paint, I didn't shake it up well enough, but you get the point. You'll get the point. And I'm going to, I ain't doing nothing because I got to really suck it in. Alright. Why are you not sucking out? Oh, because there was like a blob in there. Well, that ain't going to do nothing for me. Nobody wants a blob. Alright, so let's pretend like we don't have a blob here. Because that's what happened. The blob sucked in. See? There goes more of the blob. I'm going to have to use a different color after this because this is very disappointing. But it needs more water. So let's bring a little bit more water on here. A little bit more water in there. Maybe it'll help. That dissolve the blobs. Okay. And what we're doing here is we're just spreading that color around, and I'm going to pour some of it off because obviously I wet it a little bit too much. Alright, let me just clean out mine. So there's no more blobs, and I will grab another one for my alcohol. And I'm going to stick it in my alcohol and get some alcohol in here. And I'm going to drop it, and drop it, and drop it, and drop it. That'll be all the alcohol I used there. And look. Can you see? And that, so imagine, now this is just white acrylic paint. Sit there, please. Okay, this is just white acrylic paint on a piece of very thin paper. Now, I'm going to dry it. Obviously, it's, you know, a little wetter than I want it to be because of the whole clumpy issue, which I will fix in a momento. But you see, oops, you almost knocked over that ink. Over the alcohol. Now, once it dries, you can't move it. But if it's still wet, you can still move it. They like to move it, move it. So, you see? And that was what that's like. So, any kind of paper that you have, this is just a very thin paper. Okay? And I put white, just white acrylic paint on it. Here it is. It's apple barrel. You know, I always have big white containers. Apple barrel, white acrylic paint, nothing fancy, no golden, no anything. Craft paint you can make right here, okay? So let me just dry this off a little bit. So that's really cool. And like I said, we can go back in and put some here and put some here. And we're just doing, you know, just doing a little bit of the wet, taking a little bit more alcohol, dropping it. Look at it run. Dropping it, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Look at, and it makes it run. And there's nothing in there because we dried that. So let's see if we can get a little bit more here. Yeah, it's so thick. What a crappy color I picked. We shall fix that soon. But we'll dab that up a little bit. And then just put some. So it's a lot of fun. And that is just white acrylic paint on whatever you have. I use it on book text. You can use it on whatever. And like I said, you could do all your colors like that. Water them down. This particular color of fuchsia or whatever the hell it is not being my friend today. So we will pick another color. Where I just won't suck up all that stuff. Alright. So, next. Okay. Here we have... What a mess. Here we have our white Elmer's glues in the middle. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Our white Elmer's glues in the middle. This is our Mod Podge matte. And this is our gel medium. Golden gel medium. Okay? So, let me take a paintbrush with this one. And we'll do it this way. Maybe it'll work better. Because it'll spread more. Alright, first we're going to do the Mod Podge matte. And I'm just going to go like this. Alright, focus. Focus. Not me. Usually everybody's yelling at me. Focus. It's not me. Okay, ready? And I'm just dropping the alcohol on there straight. And look how cool that is. That is on Mod Podge matte. So if you have Mod Podge sitting around, there you go. Now, let's do, I'll draw my brush. You don't want your brush all the way dried, but you want it, let's get some color. Let's go on our school glue. This is Elmer's white school glue. You can use whatever brand you have. People have complained about buying dollar store ones, that they have a very bad odor. I don't know, but I use Elmer's. But look, this is on your Elmer's white school glue. So if you don't have Mod Podge, and I didn't put much color on, you can see where I put the more color on where it's working. But look at that. Maybe I'll put a little bit more color on. Just to show you. A little bit right here. Let's see what it does, shall we? Yep. Okay, so far we have our Mod Podge is over here. This is our white school glue. Looks, I mean, it looks good. It's, if that's all you have and you want to make some, well, I got some running there. That's what you have. Let's go over here to our matte medium, golden matte medium. And let's maybe a little bit of water. You just put a little bit more water on your brush. Water it down a lot. Because that's what makes the alcohol run. You know. Okay. And then let's do it. Dun, 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 dun. Now, of course, if I was, oh gosh, I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. Somebody's riding their motorcycles or something, and my dogs think the UPS truck's here. Okay, so you see, we have three very different. Could you please lay down? Please. Spire James Donovan. Enough. So, we have that, which is the Mod Podge matte. That, which is the Elmer's school glue. That, which is the gel matte medium. Now, let me give you a tip. Okay, I'm going to go on here, and I'm going to wipe this off. Now remember, my glue wasn't all the way dry, so you want to make sure your glue's all the way dry. But because I was waiting 20 minutes and it just wasn't drying, and I'm just going to blot this up. You guys saw it. It exists. And look how fun. We can just do fun things like that with that. Okay, well, this is going in the garbage now. Now, I'm just using cardstock. So imagine if you're using watercolor paper or canvas or mixed media paper. This is just cardstock. Look at the fun you can have. Oh dear, gosh. What the heck was that? Something came out of me. I didn't have anything. It might have been a little something. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. And this is, again, a piece of dry glue. This is, again, the Mod Podge. And this is going to be, again, the white school glue. And I'm just going to go out with my brush one more time. And I'm going to make it a little bit more watery. A little bit more watery. I can feel that it's dragging. So that means it's still a little, the glue itself is still a little bit wet. But I'm not going to hate. I'm going to appreciate. And then I'm going to, I don't know why I'm all of a sudden saying that all the time. Okay, now I'm just going to do a couple drops. And, you know, you can take your brush and flick it. Look at me flicking. I'm a flicker of alcohol when I art. And look how much fun. So, imagine, let's just imagine, in a world, I'm not going to blow that dry because it'll move everything around. However, I am going to put the lid back on my alcohol because, oh dear. The funny stories I can tell you. How many times I've picked up my paint water to take a drink or all that kind of thing. So let me show you on untreated paper. So I hate to move it because it's so pretty. So you see what you can get. And like I said, you know, you want to kind of leave it sit and dry. The alcohol itself and these beautiful little things are dry, but the puddles around it, depending on how much water you put on it. Now, you can see, and once I set this aside for a minute, work on this next piece for a minute, you can see where I have brush strokes in the Elmer's glue, in the white school glue underneath here. I think it adds great grunge and texture. You know, you can always use a foam brush. You don't have to use a regular paintbrush, but that's how we do that. Again, the paper is kind of, you know, it needs to dry. And I'm just going to kind of suck this up right here because I don't want it to pour all over me when I move it. Okay. Suck up, baby. Okay. So, very successful right there. Let me just set this right here to dry for a moment. This paper is untreated. Okay, and I'm going to have to get the alcohol back out. I just had to put it down there for a minute. I'm going to get some paint like this. This is untreated. Nothing on it. I'm just showing. You want it to be wet because you know it's going to absorb in. So you want to make sure that you got your color and your paint and everything's going on and that you didn't put your alcohol away and shut it because you're a dork. Okay, untreated paper. Let's see what it does. I already know, but let's see. Okay, ready? You get a very muted. And I'll show you it. I don't know if it's coming up on this on the thing. I'm going to keep that little bit in there and see if I can get it on there a little faster. Wait a minute. Now, you can also take, let's do this. Let's add that little bit of alcohol left. Come here. All right, let's take some Postbox Red Dilutions ink spray, and let's spray it. Let's just spray it. We're just spraying. Oh god, that went everywhere. Well, that wasn't a nice, very nice nozzle, was it? And let's see what it does on here. Nope, soaks right into the paper. Gives you cool dots. Now where it's a little bit wet, you could see it kind of spreading it around. But this is not treated paper. Remember, this is not gessoed. This is nothing but a piece of cardstock. So remember that. I just want to show you the difference. Plus, I like playing, so I'm just a dork that way. That was my thing, not me. Let me just put a little bit of water on here and see what happens. If it does anything. Nope. It ain't going to do nothing. All right, but that doesn't matter because it still looks good, and I'll show you. Okay. Now look what it does. Now this is cardstock. However, you still get, it pulls it. Ugh. I'm colorblind, so my daughters are going to kill me because my settings are off. Okay, we'll just keep it down here then. Can you see how it pulled away from the paper? Okay. All right. Light. Where's the light switch? That ain't going to do no good. That's how dark it is in my room if I don't have this light on. But I want you to see. Can you see it? See how it makes the... Come on, be a friend. Be a friend. It's not being a friend. Anyway, this gets a tie-dyed look. I can't believe my light. This is a tie-dyed look. See what it did? And then the red, you can see. Well, you can't. I can. I'm just going to leave it like that. I don't understand. Let me try to zoom in. My husband mentioned the phone. Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be quiet, but I can hear him. It's somebody from me. He's... Okay, never mind. He's my caretaker, and sometimes people give him shit. Okay. So anyway, can you see how it made it look? I know you can't see beautifully, like wonderfully, because it's like the color. I have my color off because I can't always tell. But it looks really cool. And I really wish you could see this. I'm so disappointed. Nico, lay down. Oh, I'm so pissed off. How can I do this that it would look, you could truly see? I mean, it looks like a science experiment. It is just so deliciously red and like... Me and my color blindness. My daughter, I'll have to have her fix my color again because I screwed it up. And the light's just not working well. All right, I'm not gonna bore you anymore trying. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. Will that work? Nope. No. Kind of looks like sperm running. Little sperms, yeah. Okay. All right. So you can't really see it that well. It came out awesome looking. It's a really great thing to see, you know, when you're doing your mixed media and stuff like that. See, I'm obsessed. It's like the OCD. Like, I just want you to see this color. I will try to take a picture and see if I can post it in the group. Like, both of them, they come out really cool looking. And this is a very subtle kind of look. And this is not treated paper, but for some reason, it's just not being friendly. Okay, I'm done. I'm done obsessing. Sorry. But here we go back again with the other ones that we did. So, let me put my little spatula in there. Okay, so the thing is that you can either cover your paper with, obviously, you can cover it with white school glue, which is here. You can cover it with gesso, matte medium, matte medium, which is here, and that could be any brand, it doesn't matter. So this is matte medium. This is Elmer's school glue that's still not dry. And this is Mod Podge matte. And again, it could be Collage Podge, it could be Mod Podge Glossy, it doesn't matter. It all does the same thing. And you get this great alcohol ink look. Now, again, very quickly, which I didn't do and maybe should have, but I didn't. Don't just keep your mind at one color. Take your palette and fill it with colors that you want. Think of the alcohol inks that you buy or you can buy. Greens and yellows and purples and pinks and whatever, and put them in there, the paint colors, and water them down so they're like really, really watered down, and just paint all over and keep it wet, and then start dripping your alcohol or whatever way you do it, and you're going to get all these beautiful colors on this background that's going to make it beautiful. Maybe I should have done that to give you, but I don't want you to think like, oh, I can only do it with one color. I wanted to show you again that you can just have, if you cannot afford the alcohol inks, you can just do a version of the alcohol inks on a background or on an item by using, like I said, Mod Podge or Elmer's glue, white school glue, or the gel medium. It works. This is just cardstock. If you used watercolor paper or, like I said, mixed media paper or anything else, you know, it would be even thicker. This is bowing because it's obviously cardstock. I buy cardstock by the pound, not because I make cards, but because I draw on it and I do this kind of stuff on it and I play around. You can also use, this kind of, I played around a little bit with it, but you can also use white acrylic paints and do the same thing and get a really cool effect. So, you know, use your imagination. Like I said, take a piece of cardstock if you want to play. Water down 4 colors, you know, colors that are complementary to each other, not that are going to blend into like a brown, you know what I mean? And just soak in, you know, water them down and put them on here and drip some alcohol and see what you get and have a great background. Because once this is dry, you can, with cardstock, then rip it up and use it on a background itself or use it as a background. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't really make a difference. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I got a lot of requests again for this, and like I said, rather than have you go back through my channel a million videos and find the ones that I did, I thought I'd do another one. So, as always, if you have any questions, just leave them below. You can also use watercolor paints on these to do this too. I only used acrylic today, but you can definitely use watercolor paints because they're watercolor paints and they work just as well. I've used my Crayola watercolor paints and done it. So you can use watercolor paints also and get the same effect, and it's just really cool. It's really fun, really cool, and I love it. I love playing around with it. I love the different techniques. Like I said, I used a brush on here, and if you look very carefully, you can see, come on now, see the cracks in there? It looks like it's almost, that's why I love using Elmer's glue, the school glue for, to make, like distressed crackle, you know, make crackle, because Elmer's school glue works like a charm. And look, it all looks crackled, and look at the white around it. It looks like crackled. It looks distressed. It's a really cool look. You know, here is the gel medium, and that's the look you get. Here is your Mod Podge. I mean, it's all gorgeous, gorgeous things. Like I said, I wish I could show you how beautiful these looked. Oh, back here a little bit. Look how fancy. I can do it back here. See how cool that red looks of the Delusion spray on a piece of cardstock that was not treated? You can kind of, can't you? Ooh, fancy. Let's see if you can get this pink in here. See the different variations of it? It like pulls out all these, the color. It's like really cool looking. So, yeah. That is it. I hope you all learned something. Okay, so very quickly, I promised that I would talk about the ATC swap. We have people who are new to the ATC swap, and what I want to tell you is this. All you have to do is take a piece of cardstock, which obviously, this is a piece of cardstock. Not that again, Kelly. You take a piece of cardstock, you take a ruler. This is a fancy ruler I got yesterday too. And you will measure 3.5, and you will take your pencil. I will use my new Art Snacks pencil I got in the mail the other day. I will mark it. 3.5 this way, which is the length, to 2.5. All right. I'm not the smartest bulb in the lamp. All right, and then just draw this line here. That's your 2.5. And then you want to make sure this is 3.5. Oh, because they have that little peewee thing on the bottom. Anyway, okay, never mind, I'm talking to myself. Okay, so we're measuring 2.5 across, 3.5 down. Then what you'll do is, put my special ruler back, because I'm special. And you'll measure a little better than I. This is just cardstock. You can use watercolor paper. You can use mixed media paper. You can use cardboard. You can use whatever you want. And then you will cut it out. Better than I. You know. But you will have... I'm a horrible cutter. Whoever let me cut things is beyond me. This is why I don't make cards. Lindsay the Frugal Crafter. Even though I have all those things that cut and measure, I don't do that. Okay. So you have basically a card that's 2.5 inches across, 3.5 inches down. And then you know, you can cut up like the stuff that we made today. Like this. You can cut up this and add it to that. You can cut up this hot mess, because that was real lumpy. See how lumpy? Lumpy. But I did it because I could save this side and just use this side. You can glue this down and then cut around it, and you have your background already. Or you can glue this down, or you could take the rest of the paint that you have sitting around, like I do, and you just paint it to get you a starting point. Decide what you want to do. Apparently the glue got on here too, because it dried and it's doing a resist. I did a resist and I didn't even try. How you like me now, people? That's right. The glue was underneath here. Yep. So anyway, so then you just start from there. Do a background, and then, you know, look up online what ATC, look up Artist Trading Cards. You'll see a gazillion, billion. Look in the All Things Creative group, because we've been putting January and February's ATCs in there. Matter of fact, I got to put the one in I got the other day. But, you know, that's just kind of how you start. You can stamp on it. I love these. Let me see if I can get this going here. I love the Bic Whiteout Shake and Squeeze, because I squeeze it. And then you can, you know, well, this is still wet, so that's a bad example, Cal. Never mind, my paper's still wet. Anyway, I love these because you can write on them, write with them. And I got paint on it. and, you know, get a nice white, white writing on there. I also bought me, which I'm not real thrilled with because there's not a lot of paint in it, but the new Liquitex extra fine white marker, paint marker. Let's see if I can get this thing to work. But I don't like to have to work really hard to like do stuff. But, you know, you can just doodle on it, or, you know, cut pictures out, stamp. I mean, there's a million, like I said, look up artist trading cards, look in the group of everybody's, but that's all it is. It's, you want to make sure whatever you use, this is just a piece of scrapbook paper. Now, what I would probably essentially do is, you could do one of two things. I take if I use scrapbook paper, I will take a second piece of scrapbook paper once this is done. Like once I'm all done with it, I will take another piece, cut it out, and I will glue it with either a tape gun or a glue stick or whatever, and I'll glue it to the back so it's a little bit more firm and stronger, and it doesn't get like wet or anything in it. You know, from working on this. So that's a suggestion. But yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff. And like I said, you know, if you start doing it and you hate the background and you're like, this really bites, you know what I mean? You just take a, like I've started my background like this. I've glued on a piece of book text, and then once it's glued on, you know, you cut around your ATC card and you have it started, and then you could build from there. You know? It's really fun. It really is. You can use stamps. You can use ink. You can use punchinella. You can use book text. You can use stickers. You can use, I mean, it's just pieces of jewelry. It's just, the sky's the limit. So I hope that helped you a little bit. You know where to hit me up at for any more questions. And I hope this helped you guys. And I hope that you guys tag me and let me see or show me, you know, your alcohol ink projects that y'all do. You guys really surprised me with all the messages today. I hadn't checked my YouTube messages, and I went down that all day, really. Well, early this morning, but I went down, took a shower, and came up, and then I was like, oh wow. So that changed. I had another video I was going to do, but I'll do that tomorrow. So I hope you all have a great day. Great night now. It's 6 o'clock. But as always, be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And again, I want to thank the Frugal Crafter for mentioning my name and everybody asking and coming over and looking. And I hope you guys learned something. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.